Being a kid isn't easy nowadays. Along with added peer pressure and social media, bullying can be a real problem. In fact, 1 in 5 U.S. students reports being bullied, and 30% of adolescents surveyed in a global study say they've experienced bullying at some point. It's why for 8 years now, Sporting KC has joined forces with Children's Mercy Hospital for what's called the Red Card KC campaign. Team members and experts tour local middle and elementary schools in an effort to stop bullying before it starts. And school leaders agree that is a critical mission.
So we want them to be leaders. We tell them to take the hard path, which is standing up, speaking out, talking to an adult, and helping those who are less fortunate or who are being picked on.
The main goal of the Red Card campaign is to help kids understand and identify bullying and how best to stop it. Let's get to the heart of the matter with Dr. Ram Chettiar with Children's Mercy Hospital. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. It's an important topic, especially nowadays. What's your main message to kids at these events?
Our main message is to take care of one another. You know, everybody deserves respect, and when we see someone in our community being hurt, it's important that we come together and call it out when we see it.
It's a loaded question, but why do kids bully? What's behind that? Because you have to spot the signs.
Yeah, bullying has been around forever. We've all been a part of it, one side of the equation or the other, or definitely all of us have witnessed it to some degree. Bullying really comes down to power. So maybe somebody feels that they need to gain more power in some way. Popularity is very important for kids, and having that kind of power can be very important. Unfortunately, it sometimes comes to the expense of other people who might not have that much power, and that's kind of what bullying is around. It's around power differential, repeatedly harming somebody to gain that power.
Mm-hmm. Teaching kids to spot the signs, but I imagine parents would love to know that information as well. So how do you spot the signs that your child is being bullied or maybe even bullying another child?
Sometimes it's a tricky one. Parents often hear from the school. If you have a good relationship with your child, can keep conversations going, that helps a child to open up to you and talk about these things. It has become harder with social media, and kids can hide behind screens, and a lot of this happens outside of the purview of adults, unfortunately.
I was going to ask about social media because when we grew up, that wasn't really as much of a factor, but now it's every day. It's all around us. How do you teach kids to navigate social media wisely, and how do you teach parents to best keep an eye on their kids?
Yeah, social media kind of got ahead of us. As parents, most of us did not have social media growing up. So what we really encourage families to do is have these conversations early. First time that a child gets a phone, talk about what this means, what the responsibilities are, what's being a good citizen online, and that can sometimes help protect kids. But beyond that, just parents being involved in their kids' online life as well as real life.
Tell us more about the Red Card KC campaign, because we know you've been doing this for 8 years. There are more stops coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, Red Card KC is a wonderful program that Children's Mercy has partnered with Sporting Kansas City. And what we do is we are bringing awareness to bullying. We're targeting the bystanders. We know that in 85% of bullying situations, there are bystanders witnessing this. And those bystanders are often reinforcing in bullying situations. So what we do is we help them stand up to the bullying, and that way we can actually put an end to it rather than reinforcing it. And with Red Card, we go to elementary schools and middle schools in the area. We talk about bullying, we talk about taking good care of each other, and then we have other community events throughout the year, and we recognize people being kind in schools and really try to make a positive influence in our community.
Like you said, keeping that conversation going is so important. How's the reception been from these
kids?
The
kids love the assemblies. We usually have a Children's Mercy mental health representative, Sporting Kansas City announcer, Sporting Kansas City player, and the star of the show is Blue, the mascot for Sporting Kansas City, who really gets the kids going, and it's a great time.
All right. Well, we appreciate everything you're doing. Dr. Ram Chettiar with Children's Mercy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can take the pledge against bullying by going online to redcardkc.com. You can also find plenty of free resources for your family. We'll be right back.